Good evening, y'all. Good evening, y'all. Welcome back, man. I haven't did drop two videos in one day in a minute for real. I might drop another one for real. And that'll be the first since I start doing this in late 2024. But man, I got a lot to talk about. I got a lot on my mind, and I feel like breaking down these videos and segments and stuff like that, man. So hit that like, hit that subscribe button. First, we're going to talk about this weekend. We have a very big boxing weekend, man. We got David Benavidez versus Gilberto Zordo Ramirez for the Cruiserweight Championship of the World. I think it's the WBL Cruiserweight Championship of the World. I could be wrong. But nevertheless, though, man, I'm very excited for this fight. David Benavidez is going to keep climbing the pound for pound list. If he gets a victory over Zerto Ramirez, and I'm a very, very big fan of David Benavidez. Don't get me wrong, very big fan. But do I think he deserves to be on the pound for pound list right now? But that's what the Ring magazine got him on, the pound for pound list. Not really. Maybe he could be number 10 or something like that. Maybe number 11. But with a convincing victory over Zerto Ramirez, moving up to cruiserweight, and this is not like a 5-pound move up or a 7-pound move up. Shit, he's at 175. This is a whole 25 pound move up in weight against somebody that did start at super middleweight too, but you could tell that Zerto Ramirez is the naturally bigger person. They're both big, but just Zerto Ramirez, he just looks more like a cruiserweight, more than I've ever seen somebody that moved up to cruiserweight from like a super middleweight or like heavyweight. He's so fucking big and burly at that weight class, man. And the man's got skill. The man likes to come forward. So this is going to be a hell of a fight, man. The man can take a punch. I'm excited about this fight. But I am rooting for, and I think that David Benavidez is going to win this just because of his youth, his punch volume, his high work rate, and that's what he's going to have to use against Zerto Ramirez or whatever. So Zerto Ramirez to me was never like a class fighter or anything like that. He had his chance to prove that when he fought against Bivol at a weight class below at light heavyweight. And Bivol dominated him. To tell you the truth, like I said, man, and I think it's going to be a good clash, but I do think he will win. Benavidez is going to win 7-5. Benavidez. Honestly, I honestly think that Benavidez is not even in the same class as Bivol or better BF right now, so I consider this to be a back and forth fight or whatever. I don't think it's going to be a dominant performance by David Benavidez. I just wait, I think, and him fighting somebody big and burly like Zerto Ramirez is going to be, it's going to give him a little problems in the early rounds. So, but like I said, his youth and his stamina and his high work rate is going to help him beat Zerto Ramirez, man. I do want to talk about the undercard, man. Jaime Munguia, we don't know how he got a title shot after he just got tested positive for some type of performance-enhancing drug that's banned from the boxing world or whatever. Maybe they're still investigating or something like that. But I see that I just looked on BoxRec or whatever, and I thought it was going to get changed with no contest when he fought against Bruno Ceres in the rematch or whatever. I don't know how he's getting this match against Jose Armando Resendiz, but I think he's getting trained by Canelo, his team Eddie Reynoso, and all of them. But that's not going to help him though, man. Jose Resendiz, he looked indestructible kind of when he fought Caleb Plant, man. There was nothing that Caleb Plant could do that could stop Resendiz from coming forward. Caleb Plant couldn't do nothing with him, and I expect the same thing from that he's going to do the same thing to Bruno Ceres. To Jaime Munguia. He's going to do the same thing to Munguia. Munguia, I feel like, is a fighter, and he could have been his best at 160 pounds. Let me just put this back on. He could have been his best at 160 pounds for real. I just don't think that he's disciplined enough to stay at 160 pounds because of the weight, maybe his diet. I just honestly don't think that he's just disciplined enough to do that or whatever. And he moved all the way up to super middleweight quickly from 154 pounds. He's the WBO champion at 154 pounds. Then he moved up to 160. Then moved up to 168 very quickly or whatever. Found out what it was like, He got beaten. He got dominated by Canelo. And then his next fight, I think, against Bruno Cerezo, somebody with like 6 or 7 KOs. He got knocked out. It wasn't a TKO, a technical knockout. It was a cold knockout where he couldn't get up. You know what I'm saying? And so now you're going up against somebody as tough as Resendiz, man. Hey, whatever, man. I give Munguia credit, though. I almost forgot this. He did step up to the plate when Jermall Charlo was offered to fight. But, Jermall Charlo is taking the Mayweather route, protecting his O. He knew he had nothing coming with that dude. That dude was very motivated. He's a champion. Resendiz is trying to keep that WBA belt. He's trying to get him a big fight, a big payday against somebody, a big name or something like that. So I guess Jermall Charlo was smart enough to not take that fight and take a lesser fight, Yes, Jermall Charlo has been very inactive, though. But, hey, brother, your mouth is not inactive. And, you and your brother be talking a lot. I thought that fight was going to happen. It was supposed to happen. It was supposed to be all showdown, grudge match between Jermall Charlo and Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant delivered the smack across the world a few years ago. And then both of them were successful, in which they fought on the same night. That they was going to meet each other. But no, Caleb Plant got upset by Resendiz. So therefore, we thought that fight was going to happen. You could have had a chance to be a 3-time world champion, but I guess you're trying to find an easier way. Charlo, not to get a belt or whatever, because, Resendiz and motherfucker don't stop coming. So, I think there's a couple more belts still vacant in the super middleweight division. Maybe you're trying to go after one of them and, I guess a lesser opponent. But, we'll see, though, man. Another fight this weekend, man. We got Junto Nakatani versus Inoue. All Japanese showdown, bro. I can't wait for that fight, bro. I cannot wait for that fight. I'm so pumped for that, man. Junto Nakatani has the physical advantages as far as like reach and height. Is he strong at that weight, at super bantamweight? I don't think so. He just didn't. That fight was very, very close in this last fight. Very, 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 very close fight, man. In a way, he's been at that weight for a while. He knocked out Stephen Fulton. He looked very impressive. I'm not going to say that Inoue's power has started to fade, but he's just not, he's not dominant like he is in the other weight class that he was like below, like the weight classes that he started at and then moving up and stuff like that. But he's still a force to be reckoned with, though, man. And I just don't think Nakatani, his punches sometimes or so. He's got great timing, by the way. Great timing. But sometimes he can get in there trading. His punches can get wide and stuff like that. Inoue is short, compact, fast, hard punches, bro. Hard punches. He's a natural born puncher, unlike his brother. I can't remember his brother's name right now, but he's going to be fighting on that card too. I think he only has 2 or 3 knockouts, So it's just crazy. It's not genetic. It's not like genetics or nothing like that or hereditary. The power is they're just born like that or whatever. But nevertheless, though, I'm getting off topic. I'm just saying, I just feel like Nakatani, I just don't think he has the size. I don't think he got himself acclimated into the weight of super bantamweight. He hasn't had enough fights at super bantamweight to deal with somebody like Inoue and his explosiveness. And if he can just stay away from him, use his jab and time him with punches, yeah, he can have a chance. But I know Inoue is kind of good. He's kind of good at adjusting. He's not like a adjustment person, like a Usyk or somebody like that, or Floyd Mayweather, but he knows how to adjust, and it's not going to be that hard for him to figure out Nakatani. I honestly see Inoue getting him out of there late round stoppage, around the 10th round. That's just my prediction, but it's going to be some great fights this weekend, man. I know I'm going to be busy with work a lot, though, but do plan on getting this on so I can watch it on my phone. You know, I'm at work right now, you know, then, you know, I take care of the disabled. They're in their room, so I can't have a chance to watch the fight if I have to work that night. I don't know, whatever. But man, a lot of more stuff, man. I've been seeing rumors about Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson in negotiations. That would be a very, very, very good. That would be one of the fights that I would be the most anticipated to watch. Last year was the Canelo and Crawford fight. This year would be this one. I don't care what fight comes after. Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, that would be the one that I want to see. There are two undefeated guys at welterweight. It would be like almost like the anticipation of other two welterweights back in 1999. De La Hoya, Trinidad, they both were undefeated. Both had belts. I know Shakur doesn't have a belt at welterweight, but he will be trying to take Devin Haney's if that fight does come to fruition. I cannot wait to see that fight. Both of those guys are not scared. I used to think that Devin Haney used to be ducking Shakur Stevenson, but looking at his resume and stuff like that, he's not scared of Shakur Stevenson. He's not scared at all. You know, I don't know if he's going to win. I don't know. It will have to be a catch weight, though, because, you know, Shakur Stevenson will be moving up too many weight classes too fast and stuff like that, and that make it cost him. I'm not sure. But, you know, Shakur Stevenson, he is a once-in-a-lifetime fighter. So, I don't know, man. But I'm excited for that fight. Any predictions for me? Like I said, I will have to lean towards Shakur Stevenson just because he's more focused and he's more level-headed. He's more defensive-minded. Devin Haney, sometimes when he fights, he does lose focus and he does get hit like in the middle to the late rounds and stuff like that. I don't see Shakur Stevenson hurting him or anything like that if he's going to be catching him. That's what I just see. I think Devin Haney is going to be hitting Shakur with some shots that Shakur's never been hit with before. I'm not going to lie. But I think Shakur's going to hit him a little bit more. I think Shakur's defense is going to be a little bit better than Devin Haney's. Like I said, Devin Haney loses focus sometimes in fights and stuff like that. I can't think of the dude from Guatemala, his name. He was catching him with some good shots and stuff. You know, Ryan Garcia caught him with some good shots. You know, but we know how that fight was kind of tainted, though. But, you know, nevertheless, though, man, I'm very optimistic about the boxing future and stuff like that, man. Like, I really am. I really am, man. I like this. I'm just pumped for Saturday and stuff. I definitely am pumped for Saturday. David Benavidez, if he wins this fight, like I said, he moves up on the pound-for-pound list. He probably moves up like on the number 7, in my opinion, on the pound-for-pound list or whatever. But he said he's going to go back down to light heavyweight, though. That's a tall task fighting Bivol, man. Bivol is something like a once-in-a-lifetime fighter, too, man. That boy can go, man. He's very disciplined. Hard to hurt. Footwork is immaculate. His combos are top tier, man. Top tier. He's a tier 1 fighter, light heavyweight. It depends on what David Benavidez looks like against other Ramirez, if he's a tier 1 or tier 2. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that, man. But I think that is my time, man. I think I've been about 15 minutes on here. Probably one of the longest videos I done did, but like I said, I'm very bored and I had a lot of things to talk about and I feel like breaking them up in segments. I hope you guys like, I hope you subscribe, I hope you watch this whole thing because I think I gave a lot of game on this segment right here, man. So you guys, you have a good night, man, and I'll do the same.